Hello everybody, it is Bob and I'm back again today with a review here on Total Toy Recon. Now, in case you were wondering, no, this isn't too new of a toy. It's new that it's in the box, but it is a Y-Wing Scout Bomber from Star Wars Rebels. Yes, I don't think this was ever seen on the show. I did watch it religiously and reviewed a lot of the episodes. So I think it's kind of a smaller price point vehicle. Now, recently, I had picked this up from Entertainment Earth in a box. It was kind of like they were doing a sale. You got this, and then you got Ray's Speeder. I think they were $9.99 for both. Now, when I reviewed Ray's Speeder last week, I had misspoken. This was actually $29.99 at the original MSRP. I thought it was $19.99. So, yeah, this is not a $30 toy. It's a $19 toy, but not a $29.99 toy. So I did pick this Star Wars Rebels ship up because I like little vehicles like this. I like to world build, and I use that term all the time. Small little ships like this off to the side, to the back of a toy photography. If you're building dioramas, which is I think the best thing to do once you become an adult and you stop playing with toys, is to actually create this whole universe. Now, the cool thing here with this ship is we get another Kanan Jarrus. So, as in I say another one, they had one that came in a 2-pack. They also had one that came with Ezra and a mystery figure that just turned out to be a hologram of Obi-Wan. So let's get to the ship today. It is a little bit bigger than I thought it would be. The box is a little bit bigger, but as you can see, we do have some heavy duty dust here. And for whatever reason, they didn't say that this one was damaged. Usually Entertainment Earth will sell a not mint box, and this one was not mint. So I was kind of disappointed I didn't get a warning about that. But this glue up top here is very heavy duty. And if you're trying to like open something and then preserve it, like you want to put it back in the box later, it's going to be a bit of a tricky thing to do. So no instructions in the box, so maybe it's here in the thing. But we did get another one of these QR codes for the Star Wars download game. Now, this was a big deal that they did during Rogue One, and they really hyped it up. And then if you bring out your phone, if you've already downloaded the app, it's still here. It still works. The big downside to this this app is that it's a remote control for your ATST. I'm sorry, ATTE. Sorry, I think that's right, ATTE. I'm sorry, the ATACT. So you basically have to keep a phone with this app on with the toy, or not on, but permanently if you ever want to remote control the tank. And if you don't have the app, you buy it years later and the app doesn't download, there are buttons that'll make it move forward and stuff and move the head, but the app itself is the remote control. Cool idea, but eventually technology will age you out of this really cool toy. So, as I said, hold on to a cell phone, keep that app on it. If it's the only thing you keep on it, you'll just consider it to be a remote control. So we have another one of these, and the cool thing about these is that when you open them up, they do open up new films and special effects and all kinds of points and stuff. But again, it was one of those cool ideas that Hasbro kind of put out there, and it didn't really go too far with fans and kids. I myself made a couple little videos of them, but I never got any kind of recognition from Hasbro about them. So here we have the Y-Wing Bomber, the instructions, which I will always keep. And then we get an idea of where the bombs go and how the bombs launch. So, already, the string is barely attached here, but we will take care of that. Quick snip. And remember, as I said, this was a $29.99 MSRP toy. We have some bombs up here, hidden up here in the cardboard. And Kanan fell right out, and you definitely have to look around just in case there's any extra bombs, because the other day I got the probe droid that came with Darth Vader from the Rise of from the Last Jedi, and the rocket was actually hidden like in the side, and I never would have seen it on like the second or third glance. So definitely worth checking out. So here the bombs attach themselves underbelly here, just kind of pinch in, and then we. Nice. I mean, that's what the Y-Wing was. It was a bomber. So that's kind of nice. And if you notice, immediately, there are no... hold it up. There are no stickers. This was part of Hasbro's initiative to go green, and what they did was they basically made it that these vehicles were painted and they didn't have a lot of stickers. So we're looking at a $29.99 MSRP vehicle right now that we got for less than $9. It does feel like a less than $9 vehicle. It is a very small version of the Y-Wing Bomber. I don't quite know why these do this, because it won't really balance it. So now it's starting to look like an old Star Wars mini rig from the Kenner line. And the guns turn around this way. That could just be a packaging thing so that they don't get ripped apart. But these wings back here moving is very odd. So I don't know why they do that. But let's take a look at Kanan here. Now, they could have just given us a Kanan Jarrus figure, as in like a reprint of a redo of the one that they had supplied us with. But for some reason, they found it necessary to give us the Jedi headgear, which is very much in lines with Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith kind of look. But all in all, though, I think it's a fairly decent Kanan Jarrus, despite some sort of weird glistening paint here on the shoulder. I'm not quite sure what that is. But the arms look good. And he's got the shoulder thing here, which is great. And then the gun does not come out, but I kind of like this because it's supposed to be a pilot figure. But most importantly, he does come with his lightsaber, which is a little bent. So this is the cowboy Jedi they refer to him as, because he was the gunslinger. So not a bad looking Jedi right there. And I thought he was a very solid character when they added him to Star Wars. You know, a Jedi who was not sure of himself. And we do have a paint blemish here on his nose, which is permanent. So we did have some sort of paint blemish here in the eye, and then here again on the nose. So yeah, that's great. So you gotta always have him from that angle, or just touch him up. It's not scraping off. So let's put him into the rig. Now it showed on the package that you should put Chopper back here. So it is a space for a droid that you can sit him in. That's a nice little added on bonus. Chopper would fire a gun, and Chopper was a veteran of the Clone Wars, by the way, who was rebuilt and restored by Hera. And then I put him in there. So this is what they're saying is a $29 vehicle. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I know some of these vehicles, real briefly, and some of the price points ended up at $5 below. And I think this is more of a $5 vehicle. And I know these things cost a ton of money to produce. They have to ship them into this country. The price of gas, the price of oil, all those things fall into this kind of category. But if you're a parent, and I am, and you're looking at something like this, and you're going to spend $30 on a toy like this, you want it to at least come with a figure, which it does, but you want it to light up, or you want it to be able to take a beating, something of this nature. This is, I've seen better Galaxy Hero ships and vehicles of this nature. So this is a very odd little thing, but I wanted to check it out and see what it was like, and definitely crack it out of the box. This is the kind of vehicle that 15 to 20 years from now, no one picked up, and they're just littered at flea markets and yard sales that people got them for nothing. And then, collectors are like, I never got the Y-Wing Scout Bomber. So I wanted to see what it was like now in relation to 10 to 15 years from now. So it's a neat little cute design based on the Y-Wing, which is one of my all-time favorite vehicles, and a little bit closer to the version that appeared in the Clone Wars, which would be in the timeline for Rebels. So yeah, can't really say, this is in space, and this is just flying around, and these were in the same wave and the same line of vehicles. Really not on par with each other. This is really cool. This actually fires a rocket out of here. You get Rey. The paint's really cool. It looks to scale. This is almost like a speeder. So if you bring up, a speeder bike, which in its day was around $14.99, already just the design and the look and everything, this is almost cutesy, where this is not. And this is from the same era and wave of toys. So there's a huge difference here, and definitely not worth the original MSRP. So that's what we're looking at today. We got the Y-Wing Scout Bomber. My name is Bob. Thank you for tuning in here to Total Toy Recon. We'll be back again and with another review. Don't know what that's going to be yet. And that's kind of the fun about it, because, we're constantly surprised here. And we do have a wide variety of things that are en route So we could all of a sudden just explode one day with 10, reviews in a row of the exact same company. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your day.